Hey, gun people! Man, some crazy news out here. I don't know who this weasel is. I think he's something on night. All those left-wing Hollywood, they don't hire anybody that thinks. They only hire people that go, yay liberalism, yay Obama, yay conservatives are bad. And Hollywood is like the sprouting ground or the garden for incest, evil, just weird ideas. I mean, just the decay of society. You look, it starts growing in Hollywood. And they got the movies, they got the TVs, they got the advertisers, they got Google, Facebook, YouTube. The pushing the liberal agenda. So I don't know who watches these damn awards, but at the awards, all it was, I guess, is a big Trump beat. I don't give them the time of day or ratings, but evidently people with no lives, mainly probably little dumbass liberals running around going, oh, look at the movie stars. Wow, they're so great because they can read a line and lie to people and act. Wow, that's really tough. You want to see good acting? Good, put a damn politician up there. So we have to start with some nurse news here. Poor woman, she has a fear of nurses. I didn't know there was a fear of nurses, but evidently it's becoming pretty popular after... Anyway, I won't bring it up because people will have to drink. So this woman has a nightmarish fear of nurses. What do? They put her in a hospital with a bunch of nurses and they treat her bad. And they took no sympathy for her fear of nurses. Poor woman. Nurse Wibbles is mean to her just because she don't like nurses. Oh, they should have a policy against that. More dummies taking guns. This poor guy lives on a border, so he's allowed, I guess, to have guns to shoot critters or something or protect himself. So some dude comes to his door with a knife and a club at 3 a.m. and tries to break into his house, and he holds him at gunpoint, and the cops charge him for using his gun not for intended purposes. Because evidently he took his gun and followed the guy and brought the guy to the police and turned him over, and they seized his guns because of that. That's the liberal left agenda. When liberal goes, we don't want your gun, it's bullshit. Government wants your guns. They don't want you to have the ability to defend yourself. They want you to be sheep. They want you to depend on them for protection. They want you to depend on them for safety. So you have to call 911. So you have to pass more taxes. So they have to be able to legally rob you of more of your money to give you protection that they can pull anytime they want. And they want to take away your ability to do it yourself. Because that makes you self-sufficient. You might figure out you don't need government. Unless you're a liberal, then you'll never figure that out because you're just a damn fool. This guy on the Daily Caller says that a Utah nurse that got arrested had it coming. So he goes through some legal things. He makes some pretty good points. He kind of says what I says, maybe a little bit nicer than the way I say it. But anyway, if anybody wants to read it. And more propaganda. U.S. students in France on acid attack. They show compassion for the assailant. It's not his fault. It's not the religion's fault. It's not the peaceful religion. We just feel compassion for the person that threw acid in our face and tried to maim us and kill us and blind us. Really? Are you that stupid? Oh, but Rick, not everyone is... Whatever, freaking idiot. And it wouldn't be a liberal day in crazy upside-down America unless government was spending more of our tax money on ignorance. So the Pentagon's still going to fund medical treatment for transgender troops. Are you... Frustrating is not the word I could even... And the peaceful religion strikes again. Cannibal killer shot by cops after refusing to stop eating woman he beheaded. Rick, they're not all like that. It's the religion of... Yeah, whatever. And I guess there's some problems with a deputy coroner. The police officer had sex at death scenes with one of the coroner. I guess they showed up, took pictures of the death scenes, some sort of kinky sex. To each their own. I mean, guess that they didn't destroy evidence or something. They're killing time on their own coffee break. I'm not seeing a big problem here, but if they're in there contaminating a crime scene, then we have issues. It doesn't sound like they were messing with the bodies. They were just messing with each other. Liberals always want to make sure to get color in there if it's a white male doing something, but if there's no color, then it's usually protecting a Muslim or another particular race. We won't call anybody out because YouTube will block any free speech. Shocking moment. 2 couples start a brawl in Walmart. Wow. I wonder if the couples are white. Rick, if they were white, it would say they were white. You're just being racist. That's not true. Okay. Here's a picture of the brawl. Gee, shocker. And this is a great article. This man's wearing a clown mask to scare his daughter. Gunshots fired. So what happened is the father of the daughter chases his kid with a mask, and she gets scared and runs. So she runs into some neighbor that they don't know's house in the living room and says, "Can I stay here? There's a crazy guy in a clown mask chasing me," and she's screaming. So the dude looks outside, sees the guy in a clown mask. He pulls out his gun and fires around toward the dude. He doesn't hit him, and so the cops are called. Well, the cops identify the clown as the father and said he was just trying to scare his daughter. The guy who who shot at him said, "Hey, man, he was nervous. He wanted to make sure the kid was okay." So, and then you go down here and you read this article. According to the report, Barrett, that's the father, said he was trying to scare his daughter into behaving because she was having behavioral issues at school. Then Barrett told the officer he can't discipline his daughter after his mother went to jail for breaking her ribs and stepping on her. Rick, why are you laughing this for? Because this is the insanity of our country right now. This kid has a lot more behavioral issues than being chased with a freaking clown mask. I mean, good grief, no shit she's having behavioral issues. Her mom's breaking her ribs. Oh, so who do they arrest? They arrest the guy that shot because he had had a couple beers when he shot, so he got charged with discharging a firearm while under the influence. They arrest him, and they arrest the dad for inciting a riot. So guess what's happened to the daughter? Well, I can't go to mom because she'll break her freaking ribs. I can't go to dad because he'll chase her with a freaking mask and scare the neighborhood. So we'll put the child in government protective custody and give her to foster care to some family that just wants money that's using the system. Oh, what a freaking disaster. I thought it was kind of funny about behavioral issues. Sorry if I offended somebody. Hang on, YouTube warning. If I offended you by laughing, I apologize and it was not intended to cause... Shut up, you big crybabies. Some dude wore a Jason mask and shot somebody, wounded a couple others, went up, robbed him. He had a mask on. They can't find him. They're asking for the public help. I'm thinking there's more to this than just some guy with a mask shooting poor innocent victims that had no prior contact, but who knows. And these fine citizens were running around, they're married, having sex in public libraries, Walmart, Burger King, and other places. Somehow somebody got offended and they're arrested now because I guess they can't film themselves having sex in public places. I'm not real sure what's going on here. More freedom, I'm sure. Damn Republicans still talking about Obamacare, ain't done shit. Yeah, you keep goofing around, you smart Republicans who think that people are going to vote for you again. You ain't getting my damn vote, and I hope nobody else votes for you. You get the damn White House, Congress, and everything, and you can't get shit done because you're too busy reaching across the aisle and you don't want to upset the poor liberals on the left. So the left is upset because Pelosi's talking to Trump, and so they're going to protest her at some speech, and she's out there trying to get a coherent sentence. But when are people going to realize these people out here screaming in the streets, you're never going to make them happy. No matter what you do, they're going to find something to cry and complain and blame somebody for. That's just the liberal way. Amazing when you start enforcing the laws, somehow it's tougher to get across the border. Shocker. Who could have predicted that? And more immigrant crime. Trying to deport this guy. He's raping kids and children. Trying to get him back. He's fighting extradition. He's got all kind of rights. Meanwhile, the child he's sexually abusing and raping, no rights whatsoever. That's liberalism. Victims always have no rights because we have to protect the criminals because it's not their fault. They need counseling. They need help. They need to keep voting liberal. We need to keep them out of prison so we can have a more voting base. Liberalism is a mental disorder. More protesting a flag crap at NFL games. Here we go. Kneeling down, sitting down. Aw, this made the news. The poor black man hating America, making millions of dollars in the free market, hates America because of the flag, hates something for somebody. A poor black man has his hand on his shoulders. Oh, another white man has his hand on. That's all I heard on the news. He was supported by a white and black player. Everything's about color because you can cry and complain about everything if you make it about color. That's liberalism. Destroy the country, never be joined, never have a united front, totally tear down the country by making everybody hate everybody in the name of liberalism. Wow. That's for the dumb sheep. Oh, look, the Navy ships that keep running into shit in the middle of the ocean for no reason. We fired the guys in charge. Okay, you guys can move on. What the hell happened to the ships and why did it happen? Who caused it? How did it happen? I mean, just firing some dude at the top does not tell us what happened. This is the typical media, only reporting what the government tells them. The government said, hey, the investigation's done. We got rid of these guys. Don't worry about it. Move on. That means they're hiding what really happened and that there's serious flaws that ought to be addressed that the government doesn't want the people to know. And the, cohorts in the media is supporting the government by saying, oh, we won't ask any questions. We won't do any investigation. We'll just report what the government tells us because we know that's true. Really? So evidently, Trump doesn't like what Turkey did to the protesters. So he said, now we're not going to let them sell 1.2 million of U.S.-made weapons. So Sig Sauer got the contract, I think, for the government, which I think is an atrocity. It's just horrible. Sig is a overpriced, big-name gun that ain't any better than any other gun, if it's not worse. They could have got a Glock for half the price and got double the gun. But anyway, people are going to say that's because I just love Glocks. But I've owned SIGs. I carry a SIG for many years when I worked as a cop. It was a great gun, but it was made in Germany. It was the old SIGs when a company had, good ethics and did what they said they were going to do. Now they just write on their name from the good old days. And I don't own a SIG. I wouldn't buy a SIG. The ones I own were made in Germany. Anyway, so 6 Hour's not going to be able to sell the guns to Turkey. Whatever. I don't know if that's good or bad. Well, something happened to the Chinese sex doll rental service. They got suspended for some reason. They were renting these dolls out for $46 a day. And for some reason it was causing problems with the police. I don't know. I'm assuming this nurse doll started quoting the law or something or filed a lawsuit, but who knows. They call this doll Alex. Anyway, moving on. So leftist businesses now are putting up, they're getting pressure from the left to put up these signs to show that they're not racist. So they want them to have this little sign here. It's funny, the sign has no hate, but we respect women. We value black lives. What about Asian lives? What about Mexican lives? What about Ethiopian lives? What about African lives? What about... Never mind. Rick, just stay on point. We respect women. Remember, businesses have to put this sign up in order to get the left off their back, and then idiots will go eat there. I guarantee you, if I see this sign, I ain't walking in this business. We respect women. We value black lives. We stand together with our LGBT, ABC, XYZ community members, and we stand with immigrants and refugees, i.e. illegals, people coming in here taking stuff free, and people of all faiths, not all faiths, anything but Christian. That means Muslims and every other faith except Christian. And we stand with our community. Really? You want this as your community? The only thing missing from this is Christian white males. Gee, that's a shocker. I'd have never seen that coming, but that's not racism. Rick, why are you making it about color or sex or straight or religion? You conservatives always want to make it about sex, liberal sign, about color, liberal sign, about sexual orientation, liberal sign, about Christianity and different liberal sign. Who's making this about all the things that the liberals tell you Republicans make it about? Whatever. I say conservatives. I'm not real happy with Republicans either. And more liberal ignorance. We got to make segregation popular, but it's only popular if you have the special class to where they get special privileges, special rights, special hiring practices, lower scores, special benefits from the government. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I thought they say that's white privilege. Oh, never mind. Moving on. Don't pay attention here, sheep. This might confuse you. I always say liberalism is about stealing freedoms. They absolutely want nothing. They want to stomp out the Constitution and rewrite it so it can just say, we the protected class hate white males and white America and white country that was founded by white people because white are bad. So they have this 1 week, I guess, of free speech, meaning conservatives other than the liberal left agenda can come and talk. And of course, the professors are urging to boycott the Free Speech Week. So everybody always tell me, Rick, liberalism is always about fighting for freedoms. You're an idiot. If you believe that, that's why you're a liberal, because you're an idiot. Liberalism is about destroying freedoms. They want government to have all the power and to tell you what you can and can't do and who you can do it with and who you cannot do it with. And it's all about government control and power. That is not freedom, you freaking idiots. More liberal gun control. Chicago. Record 500 homicide of 2017. Shh. Rick, those are black people killing black people because of crime and violence. And we can't talk about that because we have to find where white cops are arresting black people. Even though there's been 500 homicides in one city run by the liberals, for liberals, by black Africans that were told if black people were in charge, everything would be fixed because they can deal with black people better than white people. Everything's about color with the liberals to divide, and people are idiots and they believe it and they protest, and our country just needs a reset. So this is good. Facebook is getting in trouble because they took down some Muslim ethnic cleansing post that this person, and of course Facebook took it down, but because it's with the religion of peace Muslims, they're in a quagmire because they're promoting violence and they're saying it's violence. And Facebook, who is the world police on knowing what's right and wrong, and they have the exclusive power to block or take down anything they don't like or doesn't fit their agenda, they took this down, and because they're Muslims, now they're rethinking it and they're looking at it and they're going to reevaluate it, which translates to, we didn't know you were Muslim, we thought you were white, and we took it down, so therefore, here we go. We're going to change our policy and make it more biased than it already is. And this Darwin Award idiot winner finds a snake at his kid's birthday party and is going to show everybody how to handle it. He starts playing with it and it bites him in the face. Yeah, okay. He wanted to teach everybody to handle it safely, and now his face is all messed up. Well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be playing with snakes. But Rick, not all snakes are like that. That's snakeism. You can't judge all snakes just because one bit him. Yeah, that's because you're an idiot. You voted for Obama and Hillary. The internet's having problems removing extremist content. When people hear extremists, the people with a brain think of the people that are blowing people up in the name of Allah Akbar and that. That's what we think is extremist, normal people. What liberals with a mental disorder think extremist is somebody that believes in a Constitution, that believes in a Second Amendment, First Amendment, and less government and less government control and more freedoms. That's what the liberals think extremists are. So when you read this, you're thinking, oh, that's good. They should control extremism. They're not talking about controlling what is real extremists. They're talking about controlling patriots and Americans. That's what they're talking about, extremists. Pay attention, people. Evidently, the pictures are showing that the glaciers in the national park are growing. And, liberals keep telling us global warming. I think they said Gore in his movie said all of this would be gone in 2030. And for some reason, it's growing. And right about then, they changed the term global warming to climate change because global warming was proven such a fake, false lie. And again, if you really want global warming, just somebody explain to me how there were 7 previous ice ages that we recorded before man, and somehow man's causing this ice age. What the hell caused the other 7? It wasn't man, you idiots with 2 brain cells. Therefore, you can't say that man's causing this one. No, Rick, just follow in line and say, yay, liberalism, more government, more taxes, less freedoms. That's the liberal way. And go Sacramento, land of liberal California, crazy land, crazy fauna, whatever you want to call it. They've got a student with pictures showing pigs, this pig holding a gun shooting people, about pigs getting killed and depicting cops as pigs. And you know what? That's okay. Because hating cops now is popular, and loving people that burn down buildings, loot, protest, block streets, and commit all kind of crime, that's popular, Rick. And what's popular must be right. Ugh. And a little more liberal ignorance. This high school is tying up students with duct tape, making them lie on the ground and forcing them to watch something, while the teachers at a school that you send your school to get your kids to get programmed by these government left-wing liberal schools, and you don't do anything about it because they're babysitters, and it's easy just to send them to school and let them educate your kid into being a left-wing loon idiot. They're tying up these kids, and the teachers are acting like slave boat owners to give the kids a slavery experience. Are you freaking kidding me? You're tearing down a statute because people are triggered. You're scared of bananas and trees because it triggers some people. And now you're tying up and taping up white people so they know what it's like to be a slave, while the teachers act like slave owners. What the hell? Are you kidding me? And right when I thought France was getting a clue, stopping all this liberal ignorance crap, now they're going to make it against the law to whistle at a woman or to ask for her phone number. Wow, that ought to help. Now women have more control, Rick. They're more empowered. Only they can offer their phone number. Only they can write their phone number in a bathroom stall. It would be illegal for a guy to ask a woman for her phone number. Man, that's advancement. Woman power. Woo-ha! And we'll end it with a little note from Trump's speech about North Korea.
Rocket Man.